Coming up on Fulton today, solid waste services are restored in unincorporated South Fulton. We'll have details on this major environmental amenity. And future litigators get their first official badges. We'll take you to the graduation ceremony for the junior district attorneys. Fulton Today starts right now. Welcome to Fulton Today, everybody. I'm Shania Chavis. Residents in unincorporated South Fulton will soon see changes in their solid waste services. Now, thanks to approval by the Board of Commissioners, the county's Public Works, General Services, and Code Enforcement teams will now regulate that service for that community. Now, Antonio Valenzuela is the Assistant Director of Facilities and Transportation. He's here to tell us now what all of this means. Sir, welcome back to Fulton Today.
Sonia, thanks so much for giving me the opportunity to discuss solid waste for unincorporated Fulton County.
Well, first things first, explain to everyone what you all asked the Board of Commissioners to do and why.
Well, on July 15, we asked the Board of Commissioners to look at again the current 1996 ordinance as well as the 2005 solid waste program that the county has on hand. The 1996 is an ordinance that conveyed the cities that were annexed back in 2005, such as Milton, Johns Creek, Sandy Springs, and Chattahoochee Hills. So that ordinance needs to be brought up to date, as well as in accordance of DCA. The solid waste program needs to be updated every 10 years, and the last update was done in 2005. So any municipality over 100,000 residents requires to have an ordinance up to date. That is what we asked to the Board of Commissioners.
And so now how will this process work, Antonio?
So we'll be working with the legal department as well as code enforcement to ensure that we comply with what the board approved, and our recommendation will be, after working with the community, will be done based on public hearings and so on, in a plan in which we will discuss with the community on how to do better on the solid waste for unincorporated Fulton County.
Now, is bulk waste a part of this agreement?
Yes, bulk waste will be part of this agreement, of this plan, actually. As you know, unfortunately, bulk waste is one of the major problems that we have in unincorporated Fulton County, and in part is due to the lack of services and the lack of providers that can provide that type of services to our community. So we hope that with the new plan, will enforce that bulk services will be provided to our residents and avoid this constant littering that exists in unincorporated Fulton County.
And what about recycling?
Recycling, yes, it will be also part of this plan, and it will ensure that in the new ordinance also it becomes part of this ordinance. As you know, recycling is one of the major goals that the county has, as we are certified as a green service through ARC. So our goal is to continue being a county that provides recycling.
And finally, Antonio, you know, everybody's wondering, will there be a cost for residents?
Well, cost is always a factor. No matter what we do, it becomes a major component of any plan that we do. So far in the metro area, what cities and residents pay across the metro is anything between $15 and $20. So we're hoping to get the best deal for our residents and have them have the opportunity to contract directly at the lowest cost possible.
Antonio Valenzuela with Facilities and Transportation, always great having you. Thank you so much for your time.
Sonia, I do appreciate the opportunity. As usual, we're here in the Transportation Division of Public Works to provide the best services that we can do for our residents. And I also want to thank you, all the board members that provide all the great support, and we're looking forward that in the next 8 months we'll have a new plan and being able to provide some recommendations to the Board of Commissioners and working as well with the community.
Now, if you have questions about how this service will impact you, you can contact the Public Works office. Two county public safety agencies received the most significant accreditation in law enforcement. Fulton Police and the Fulton Marshal's Office successfully completed the review process sponsored by the Commission on Accreditation for Law Enforcement Agencies, also known as CALEA. It was the 7th such honor for the Marshal's Department.
Fulton County Marshal's Department is the only Marshal's Department in the United States to be nationally accredited.
The Marshal's Department received their initial accreditation in 1995. The police department has been nationally accredited since 1987.
Those assessors came on site and they checked all of our files prior to arriving and at the location. Also during the file check status, they toured the department. They were shown a status display. They rode along with officers and they also conducted interviews. They also had a public hearing where citizens could call in with complaints, compliments, and concerns about our police department.
Accreditation for law enforcement agencies is required every 3 years. Meanwhile, the Marshal gives the county manager an up-close look at his department's roles and responsibilities. Marshal Antonio Johnson hosted Dick Anderson for one of the manager's weekly field trips.
Give you 1 hour badge.
Oh, excellent.
Johnson explained how his agency enforces state and county ordinances as well as traffic laws. The county manager was impressed.
The thing that I found interesting is the broad set of responsibilities. So I did not realize, I thought it was mostly about warrant service, but it's clearly much broader than that in terms of securing the court system as well as interfacing with other law enforcement agencies. So it's a very critical part of our overall approach to public safety.
The visit included stops with administrative staff, officers, and a judge. A follow-up now on a story we first shared with you. The results are in concerning the Department of Justice's review of disability access at the Fulton County Courthouse. Now, the review came as a part of an initiative by Atlanta's U.S. Attorney to make sure that the building was in compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act. Nadine Oka is Fulton County's ADA administrator. Nadine, good to see you again.
Thank you.
So I understand the DOJ recently showed up. Tell us, what exactly were they looking for and where did you all look?
We looked at all the accessibility, or what they considered the accessibility requirements for the courthouses. This is under Title II. And we looked at program access issues, which has to do with our self-evaluation, how we serve the public, the delivery of our programs, services, and activities, as well as the physical site.
And so how did we do?
I don't think there's any county entity or any entity that is fully ADA compliant. I think Fulton County overall did fairly well. I don't think I will be surprised when I hear their findings or see their report. From a programmatic standpoint, the county has been addressing accessibility needs for quite some time now. From a physical standpoint, our buildings are a little bit older, so there might be some issues that can be repaired, can be remediated against, but we'll know that soon.
And before you go, what did you all think about the DOJ undertaking this kind of a review?
I was actually a little surprised, but I think it's a good project that they have, or a good assessment that they're undertaking right now. With the ADA and the 25th anniversary, I think Justice has stepped up its enforcement and its compliant activities, trying to ensure that Title II entities are compliant and they're addressing the needs of the public, whether it's program access or whether it's physical accessibility. It gives us a training ground for our assessments moving forward.
Nadine Oka, Fulton County's ADA administrator, thank you so much, and keep us posted on the progress.
Thank you.
And you as well. Well, this next group of young people is starting the new school year with a new kind of perspective. They are the 2015 graduates of the District Attorney's Junior DA program. District Attorney Paul Howard started the program in 1998 to help introduce children to careers in criminal justice.
We believe that it is hard for people to be what you cannot see.
Field trips for these rising 7th and 8th graders included trips to the U.S. Attorney's Office, the Secret Service, GBI, and FGTV.
Roll it.
For students and parents, it was a great way to spend the summer.
We did many things. We visited different places like the police station, the 911 call center, the fire department, and several courts.
I would recommend the program to the other students.
Registration for next year's program starts around the end of the school year. To get information, you can contact the district attorney's office at this number. And still to come, the Fulton County School System has new headquarters. We'll take you there in our district-by-district coverage next. Fulton leaders help get kids back to school with the supplies they need, and seniors pull off their own version of 51 shades of gray. Here's this week's district-by-district coverage. We begin with Fulton's chairman and vice chairman as they celebrate the grand opening of the school system's new headquarters. Fulton school board members officially greeted the public to their new administrative offices off of Powers Ferry Road. Earlier this spring, the system closed 6 of what it deemed was its oldest and outdated administrative facilities and consolidated them into 3 buildings.
Decentralization sometimes can be problematical, not to mention difficult for people to have access and the cost. And so this centralized effort here with many offices in one facility, I think makes economic sense, but it also makes good practical sense. And it also lends itself to good collaboration within the school system. And so I applaud the administration, the board for its vision, and I think it's a great move on their part.
Accessibility for most folks that live in Fulton County. This is actually in the geographic center of the population of the county. So that's going to be nice for parents that want to come and access the building. But more importantly, the employees will be in a central location so that they can collaborate and work together all in one place. And I think that will create a lot of efficiencies and a better working environment for the staff, as well as more opportunities for the parents.
Fulton County has the 4th largest school system in the state. In District 3, seniors at the Dorothy C. Benson facility joined their peers from the Darnell Senior Multipurpose Facility for a unique stage production. The Darnell players, in collaboration with the Silver Stage Players of Knoxville, joined forces to present their original dramatic work called 51 Shades of Gray. The actors from Tennessee traveled to Atlanta for 3 productions at county senior facilities.
Well, this is our very first preview. So we got together yesterday. They came down from Knoxville and met us. We had lunch and we put their part together with our part. And today you saw the first preview of it.
Working with the Darnell players is a ball, just wonderful. As she said, we met them in Baltimore. The 2 groups just clicked again in New Orleans. When we met them again, we said we've got to do something together.
I thought they were outstanding.
Very admirable.
Yes, those lines that they remembered and the dances, I was impressed. They're much better than me.
The 51 Shades of Grey performance was the second dramatic joint presentation with the Darnell players and the Knoxville artists since 2013. In District 5, a public and private partnership between Fulton County and a host of companies helps dozens of kids get ready for school. Commissioner Marvin Arrington Jr. hosted the day of community events at the Wolf Creek Amphitheater. The commissioner was joined by KISS 104 radio personalities, Chick-fil-A, and the Ford Motor Company. Kids enjoyed school supplies and a special screening of the movie Annie.
Well, we wanted to host this back to school supply drive to help the children that are in need, families that are in need. It's time for school to start again, and families need help with getting supplies and make sure that students are prepared and ready on day one. And so we wanted to reach out to the community, reach out to our community partners, and help make sure that we did all that we could do to make sure that our students are ready for school and prepared on day one.
I think it's a wonderful opportunity for the kids to get out and meet other people and enjoy a movie as well as network and make new friends.
The nonprofit organization, the Friends of Wolf Creek, in conjunction with local businesses, raised funds for scholarships for college students who entered and won an essay contest. And finally, in District 6, Commissioner Emma I. Darnell made a stop at a few Fulton County parks just before summer camp ended. The commissioner visited Sandtown and Burdett Parks, where youngsters were getting in their last bit of fun before school started this week.
It is so important to be here and to learn that not only are we in partnership with the schools, but in partnership with the community to see to it that we make available to the children, to the youth, indeed to all the families throughout this district, the availability of our time, our energy, and our caring, not only for children, but the entire community.
The commissioner wanted to see the venues for herself as the county prepares to make additional upgrades. During the 2015 budget season, Commissioner Darnell supported new playground equipment at county parks. Now you can catch more of your commissioners at work all this week with the rebroadcast of the Board of Commissioners meeting right here on FGTV. And when we come back, regulating food truck safety. Stay with us. If the lines are any indication, then mobile food trucks are certainly popular in the metro region. And Fulton's health department is responsible for inspecting those food trucks. Eli Jones is the Deputy Director of Environmental Health for Fulton County. Eli, welcome back to Fulton today.
Hi, Sonia. Thank you for having me.
So, Eli, I understand that there are some 112 food trucks that you all are inspecting. Are these food trucks inspected differently than how you all inspect restaurants?
Actually, mobile food units, also known as food trucks, are held to the same standards as the permanent food service establishments. And we permit and grade them with the same score sheets as we would a regular restaurant.
And can food trucks stop along any location?
A mobile food unit, when they turn in an application to get a permit, they have to submit a route sheet. You can have up to 2 routes for your permitted vehicle, mobile food unit or food truck as most people know them as. You can have 4 stops per route, so you can have a maximum of 8 stops. When you turn that in, you have to let the health department, environmental health, know what day you're going to be located and what hours you're going to be located for those route stops. So we'll know Route 1 and Route 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4 of the route stops for each day and where they'll be located. That way our inspectors will know where they're located and we can catch them in order to give them a health inspection.
And what do you think that residents should know when they go to these food trucks?
When approaching a mobile food unit, food truck, always make sure they have a permit valid. Make sure it's visible. It should be visible to the public, just like a health score is in a restaurant. They also should have the most recent health score posted for public view. The permit number that's on the permit should also be permanently on the mobile food unit. That way you know it's actually permitted.
And your final thoughts, Eli?
When approaching a mobile food unit, food truck, obviously you want it to be permitted. You want it to be recently inspected. You also want to be aware of where it's stopped at. Is it an approved route? In order to have an approved route, you also have to have a bathroom facility with a hand sink and a urinal within 150 feet of the approved route sheets. They have to show proof that they have permission for that for every route on their stop. So if a mobile food unit or a food truck is just parked randomly anywhere, it might not be an approved stop on their permit. So be aware of your surroundings. Make sure there's facilities just in case you had to use them and it's a safe spot that they would have on their route that they turned in for their permit in order to operate in Fulton County.
Eli Jones, always great information. Thank you so much for your time.
I appreciate being here. Thank you for having me.
For more information about inspections with environmental health, you can just call them at 404-613-1301. HIV and AIDS patients who need assistance finding housing get just the help they need. Fulton County sponsored a housing fair specifically for HIV and AIDS clients in a response to concerns from them about finding a safe place to live. More than 20 housing agencies and organizations gathered for the event at the Loudermilk Building in downtown Atlanta. The goal was to share resources and information with those who have HIV or who are at risk of HIV. The event also allowed patients to offer feedback about their needs.
It was quite an overwhelming experience. We expected that there were going to be a number of individuals that did not have housing, but we had more than 300 people in attendance. So there is a great need for housing in general in the EMA and a particular need for housing for individuals living with HIV/AIDS.
The Metropolitan Atlanta HIV Health Services Planning Council and the Jurisdictional HIV Prevention Planning Group organized the event. The agencies at the housing fair assist individuals and families with finding safe, sanitary, affordable housing every single day. For more information, you can call 404-612-1323. As the country celebrates National Health Center Week, we want to take a closer look at some of the services provided at county clinics. The most visited county health facility is the Aldridge Health Center, located near Grady Hospital. Some of the services at the various centers include immunizations, child health, and communicable disease prevention and treatment.
Of the 8 clinics that we have, 3 of them are integrated care facilities. So you can receive more than just immunizations at these centers. You can get primary care. Some of the centers provide dental services. Some of the centers also provide workforce services. Behavioral health services are provided at many of the centers as well. So if you come to one of our centers and you have a multiplicity of needs, we can meet those needs. And we think that increases the access to care for our population, and that increases the health status of the community.
Adamsville and Oak Hill Child, Adolescent, and Family Center are 2 of the newer centers. Oak Hill also has a teaching kitchen where families can learn how to make healthier meals. Now, the list of county health centers and a map showing their locations can be found on the web. Just go to fultoncountygahealth.org. And still to come, anti-bullying takes center stage at a county library. We'll take you there when we come back. Well, if you thought about taking an arts class, now is the time to register. The Arts and Culture Department's fall session is for teens, adults, seniors, and even little ones. Classes are available for dance, drawing, pottery, and acting, just to name a few. There are also different classes available based on skill level.
Each one of our art centers kind of has its own identity and emphasis on artistic disciplines. Certainly Southwest is known for theater. Abernathy is known for its great visual arts and pottery program. And Aviation now is adding engineering.
5 art centers offer the classes at various times. The fall session starts September 15th, but you need to register early because some classes fill up fast. You can register online and learn more about the fees at fultonarts.org. And finally, children learn an important lesson about bullying just in time for this new school season.
I'll blow my whistle like this.
The Story Ship Foundation used the Roswell Library to hold their latest educational program. The group uses live theater, videos, magic tricks, and other activities to bring awareness about different subjects. Well, this time the children learned about how to deal with different types of bullying by watching a video of a 9-year-old boy.
We're trying to get them to identify with finding self-confidence and using techniques to block out or to deal with those individuals that might be trying to push down their confidence by either word bullying or texting on the internet, cyberbullying.
You shouldn't let people boss you around, and you should just you should act like they're not there.
Now, for more information about all of the free events all year long, you can just simply go to afpls.org. And before we go, our reminder that we'd like to connect with you online. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and catch us anytime on our YouTube channel. Well, that does it for this edition of Fulton Today. I'm Shania Chavis. Thank you for watching. Join us each week for news around and about Fulton County.